You know that feeling you get when you reach into your pants pocket and you find, I don't know, $5 bill, $10, $20 bill that you didn't realize that was there? I just had that kind of feeling of epic proportions. I've got $60,000 coming in that I had no idea about. Back out here on the disc doing a little bit more plowing. Got done with dirt pan last night. I got home about 10:30, and I'm glad to be off that thing. This constant just bouncing and turning around behind you and everything, well, wore me out. I apologize if the audio's not all that good. My wireless mic or something is not working, so I have to use the standard mic, which get a lot more noise in it. Anyway, we're plowing up another whole field today. This is only about 7 or 8 acres, but this is a new field. I planted in beans last year. Landlord decided he wanted me to take it in and just drop in here and plant it. Had real good sod, a lot of Bermuda grass in it. Anyway, until I've done some dirt work over here, had just 4 terraces right in a row, real small terraces, and took them out, and this whole field is rough as the cob. So we planted a cover crop on it last fall. We got a decent stand through all the sod and everything, but we're gonna go ahead and get this thing smoothed out and get it right. That way, hopefully, we don't have to come in here anymore. You see those 4 terraces right down through there. And all we did was take the dirt pan, just scrape the top off of it and drop it in the valley right next to it. We're gonna be in this field a while. This side plus the cover crop, until it's gonna take a bunch of passes to get this thing ground up enough to be able to put the do-all in it. Yeah, me and Andy met up. He got swapped over to DAP last night, making a second trip over everything. All right, now I got everything cut a couple times. I'm gonna go at an angle to what I originally cut it, just to try and level this field out anymore. And also, if you keep cutting the same direction over and over again, you actually will unlevel the field with a disc. So our goal is to get this thing nice and smooth and level. So we're gonna cut it a time or two from this direction, then probably go over it again at another angle. Well, I've ground that dirt up about as much as I can. Come back either late this afternoon or tomorrow with a do-all and should make a pretty decent seed bed. It's definitely a lot smoother than what it was, and all those terraces and everything up through there, not going to have to cross them anymore. Now, on to the next spot. Now I got another field here. We're going to plow up about half of it because it's just got holes and everything else in it. I don't know what from. So you can kind of see right through there some low line areas. Going to try and smooth them out, fill them in, and there's just ruts and other stuff down here. But this part up over here, we're going to leave that. It's pretty smooth. Cover crop's not near as thick or rank here, so hopefully I won't have to go through over this just 2-3 times to level it out and be ready for the do-all. doing a real good job of tearing it up there. All right, looking good. I think I figured out what all these holes out here were. I think they're just a bunch of old stump holes that was rotting and sinking in. Got them about halfway filled in. This field will be a lot more pleasant to go over now. Oh, and other news, Andy and I picked up our service truck this morning. They got it all fixed up, brakes working good. You know what it needed? It needed to be computer bled. Apparently there was still some air trapped up there in the line somewhere, ABS or something, and I guess that kind of stuff is hard to bleed unless you got a machine that will actually like pump brake fluid through all that stuff. There's traditional ways. Won't quite get rid of all the air. So anyway, wound up being a pretty cheap fix there. And also glad to know that I did everything right. I think originally the problem was probably the master cylinder was the cause of the bad feeling in the brakes, but then of course the back brakes was wore out too. So I'm glad I was able to fix the problem, even if I wasn't ultimately able to resolve the issues with it. I'm glad I now got the confidence of having diagnosed and done the work myself on that truck. Alright, what we got going on this farm over here on Todd Farm is about 3 years ago, the landowner had this farm logged. And look, if you've ever been around the logging crew, you know they make a pretty big mess, especially because they got to do it during the winter. It's wet, ruts everywhere. And anyway, the logger that I work with to do this, they've done a great job for me in the past. I mean, they clean up as best as they can. However, with their equipment that they're running, I mean, it's impossible to get the fields back perfect, especially the field edges. So anyway, the field edges was pretty rough and everything, but I didn't come up here and fix it because at the time the landlord had the farm up for sale, and I figured I just had a year or 2 years max, and then the new buyer would buy it and probably develop it because we're up here in Jackson. Well, anyway, the land did wind up selling, and to my knowledge, the new owner doesn't have any interest in developing it. Thank goodness. So looks like I'm gonna get to hang on to it for a while. So that's why we're up here with this disc. We're going around the edges of the fields where they logged. Just gonna try and get them smooth backed up and in real good shape. Plus, this is the farm that I was working on that terrace last night, and y'all didn't get to see it. And I know I was bragging how proud I was of it. So we'll get a chance to take a look at it here in the daylight here in just a few minutes, and let y'all be the judge of how good of a job I did. Alright, I'm going to give you a little bit of an up-high view so you can see a little bit better, but you can see the terrace that I built up runs back around that way, and to get all that dirt, all of these smaller terraces and then the one down below, I took the dirt out of those terraces, so now we just got one nice big terrace to catch all that water, and then it's going to route it off there in the woods. But the rest of this hillside is going to be nice and flat, so when we're going across it, our booms and our equipment and just doing this as we're constantly going over those terraces. Make it a lot more efficient, a lot more pleasing to work, and shouldn't sacrifice any kind of erosion control or anything like that. All right, here's you a little bit better look right here. All we did was just build the existing terrace up. The existing terrace was maybe like down here. So as you can see, we built it up probably another 2 feet, and then to make it where we could farm over it, because this hill slopes down so steep, we had to haul a ton of dirt here on the backside right here. And we were doing this part in the dark last night, and looks like I did a pretty dang good job of getting it nice and smoothed up with a dirt pan, if I do say so myself. Anyway, I believe the apex of the Terrace is, I think it's up here where the Terrace is kind of short. You know, just eyeballing it. I don't have it transit out here, but just eyeballing it, I'd say the apex of the Terrace is right about here. And then water that flows down here and hits it goes that way over towards the woods, and then water that hits it here flows this way and goes over to the woods. But you can see these other terraces I pulled up, you know, one like right there. I mean, you had a terrace there to cross, one there to cross, one right up there, and you can imagine coming down that hillside, the way the roads run. It sure was aggravating. Anyway, I'm extremely pleased how this turned out. It had a whole lot more dirt than I anticipated to shape it up and make it look like what it needed to look like, but I'm really pleased with this. It's amazing what you can accomplish with a simple dirt pan if you just have a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is all these old terraces, you know, where I got loose dirt, I'm gonna disc them up. And then the back side of this terrace, because it's not completely smooth, it's a little lumpy, I'm gonna run the disc on the back side of this terrace, but the front side, I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't wanna knock any dirt off into the water channel, which might, you know, because I'm still not 100% sure that there's not going to be some places that catch water. So I'm going to leave the front side alone and see what the water does, let nature take its course. And then also going around all the tree lines where the loggers left some ruts from a few years ago. And actually, just to give you a little bit of a history lesson, I picked up this farm in 2007. It hadn't been worked in several years. And actually what you see here, all of this used to be 1, 2, 3, used to be 4 separate fields right in here, and they were all separated by tree lines. There was a tree line that went here, wrapped around that terrace all the way over there, and then up here where this third terrace I took out, there's a tree line that went across that way, and then there was another little small field on top of the hill, and then the one back over the top of the hill. And I don't know, maybe probably around 10 years or so ago, rented a trackhoe and bulldozer and cleared out all these tree lines. But still, because the terraces, this was still 2 separate fields because I couldn't cross this one with my equipment going over it. Now that terrace is gone, and then I shaped this one to where I can cross it with my equipment. All of this is going to be one field, so that's going to eliminate half the inrows and half the turning around whenever we're farming this field, which is what I'm talking about on increasing efficiency. Also going to lead to increased yields, because every time you're turning around, well, you're running over crop. You run over crop, you're killing crop. You kill your crop, you can't make yield. So anyway, I burned probably about a half a tank of diesel fuel on doing all this, but it's money well spent, because I'll be making my money back on it eventually if I can work this farm long enough, which thankfully looks like might be the case. All right, got done with all the disking. Go home, unhook this thing, hook up to the do-all, and get ready for tomorrow. Got rain supposed to come in sometime tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be later rather than sooner, because it's going to take me a while to get back over all this with the do-all. And if it rains before I get over the do-all, it's going to be a muddy mess and take forever to dry up. I got corn to plant. Well, the planters are running full tilt. Hey, mine's still sitting in the shed. Yeah, I know how I said I learned patience. When you see this much seed going in the ground and you got good conditions, it does tend to make one a little bit antsy. Hopefully next week though, that's going to be my goal. Next week we're going to get some seed in the ground. Well, I'm making my 4th trip with farm equipment all the way up here in Jackson in the last couple days, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of coming up here. Oh, the traffic has just been absolutely brutal. Yeah, I had to come up here with the dirt pan. Then the dirt pan tore up, had to carry it back to the shop, come back up here with the dirt pan. Then I had to come up here with the disc, and now I got the do-all behind me. And hopefully at some point next week I'll be coming up here with a planter. All I'm doing here in Jackson is leapfrogging mailboxes. Well, like I said, we're up here with the do-all on all this ground that I disced up yesterday, trying to get it smoothed out and packed down a little and settled before the rain gets here. It's supposed to come in, they say sometime after 2 o'clock. Biggest chances for tonight. So if I don't get this smoothed out, kind of settled down, it's going to take forever to dry out. See, this do-all, in addition to just smoothing it out, making it nice and level, giving you a good seed bed, it also serves to settle the ground down, pack it down a little bit so you don't have as much airspace, much water holding capacity, and it'll generally dry out a whole lot quicker after a good rain. Otherwise, if you wait and get it rained on and then come in with a do-all after that, I mean, it's just going to be a gummy mess. It takes forever to dry out. Hopefully this will go a lot quicker than the disking did yesterday, because I'm not going to have to go over this ground near as many times. I'll probably go over it at least twice, maybe 3 times, just to, you know, drag the boards real good, try and, you know, level out some of these terraces and everything just as good as I can, because like I said, I don't ever want to have to come back in here with a plow again. I want to do this right the first time, and then we can no-till it from here on out and have a real good seed bed, not cloddy or rough or anything like that. It looks like it's doing a dang good job on the first pass, though. Maybe we just get by with 2 passes, be in and out of here pretty quick. You know that feeling you get when you reach into your pants pocket and you find, I don't know, $5 bill, $10, $20 bill that you didn't realize that was there? I just had that kind of feeling of epic proportions. I got an email yesterday from Bungie, who we used to do business with, sell a lot of grain with, but early last year, Bungie had sold out the location we used to CGB. And anyway, all my contracts that I had with Bungie rolled over to CGB except for one, just because of the nature of the contract. They couldn't do it. Anyway, I got an email from Bungie yesterday, and they said that I had an outstanding wheat settlement check for around $60,000 that had never been cashed. And it was that contract that didn't roll over to CGB. Now, don't think less of me. I promise I'm good at business, and normally nothing misses my eye. But I don't know how the heck I missed a $60,000 check, not getting a $60,000 check. I mean, there in July, things are always extremely hectic. You know, we just got done with wheat harvest, trying to get our crops laid by, get ready to go on vacation, get landlords paid, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how I missed getting a $60,000 check in, but apparently I did. So I've got $60,000 coming in that I had no idea about. You talking about making somebody's day? I mean, it's probably really going to hurt our income tax situation for this coming up here, but hey, I'll take it. $60,000, $60,000. But the thing is, we had already paid our landlords accounting for that $60,000. When I figured up my landlord payments, we just hadn't gotten the check in by that point. I don't know how I missed it. That blows my mind. But I did. Even the best of us make mistakes from time to time. That extra $60,000, I mean, that could very well help. That could very well help with maybe some potential equipment upgrades that I got my own for this coming up here. Well, after a few trips over this, I believe this field's gonna be ready to plant. Nice and smooth. Man, I am loving this do-all that we bought. It is so much better than my old one. I really love those scratchers on the front. Really help make it do a real good job. And plus, I'm not worried about it falling apart on me every time I unfold it. You can kind of see the remnants of where those terraces were. But they're nice and leveled out now. Still got just a little bit of a hump, but nothing that's going to impede us from going over or making it rough or anything. Well, guys, that wraps up our tillage. Got all my dirt work done. Every field checked off the list. Our fields are about as good a shape now as I believe they've ever been. Andy's still out spreading fertilizer. I don't know if he's going to quite get done today. Kelly said he had some electrical problems, so. But rain's still holding off. We're going to keep working either till we get done or we get chased out of the field. I hate this corner. Man, I hate this corner. Every one of these trees over here needs to go. Okay, I'm going to get on back to the shop, drop this do-all, and start checking things off my list on getting ready to plant. Because that's going to be the next video, and hopefully we'll be recording it real early next week. Like I said earlier, don't know what crop we're going to plant first, but the ground's in good shape and the weather's permitting. We're going to put some seed in the ground. I know y'all just as anxious to watch us plant as we are to put some seed in the ground ourselves. Also going to try and get these microphone problems situated too. But anyway, guys, appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you in the next one.